Never been explained to me.
Garage automation, okay, 16 seconds of your time. Garage automation, you come in, you pull a ticket. People who are residents here, you have easy pass-up device. If you're up to date, the gate will open. It's a high-speed gate, opens in a second and a half. They installed throughout the United States, this is nothing new. You park, you wanna leave the premises, the same thing, there are two lanes. One for paying customers, and the gate stays closed until the count is settled, no matter what. And if you have an easy pass device and you are up to date with your payments, the gate will open, you will leave. That's as simple as this. We will have, it's not a done deal, but what we're thinking, there will be cameras installed, cameras will take picture of incoming cars, nobody will see it, just in case of, police will need to see it, we will save it for 30 days. We will be installing additional cameras, and we do have cameras on elevators. Garage is not protected as we speak, because anybody can enter from the mall. So speaking of protection, we have no protection. Connecting cameras into elevators and making it as a one system will give us a little bit more protection than we have right now. 8th floor will have a high-speed gate, and we'll have a door, which will be operable with the use of regular fob. Right now, if you go to 8th floor, walk your dog, anybody can come in and come out because we allow people to go to the plaza, to the driveway. When we install this door, and this is part of the cost, then the only people who will be allowed to enter people with fobs.
Slava?
Yeah, and Versailles has this type of system right now. Yes, and the and 11th floor will be open 20, only floor. We will be able to enter on 8 and 16, 24/7. 8th floor we will have a gate with the main gate who will be collecting money. Actually, is a money or whatever way we will choose to settle accounts. And you will be able to, one of the issues which is taking such a long time is to give us the same opportunity to build back to the apartment fees for the visitors. This is the main issue which we wanted to save, otherwise it would have been most likely implemented a long time ago. Yes, please.
So I have a few comments. One is, I think the board should be applauded in the sense that they do have fiduciary responsibility in looking for cost savings. So in that regard, I think they should be applauded just for looking for how we can save money. But with regards to the smaller footprint, does that mean we're going to have less security guards or less front door attendants? What footprint?
No, I'm sorry, you did not understand. We're going to actually, again, if, no commitments, if we choose to do this, we will have more people present at the galaxy than we have now. This particular exercise will not cut number of employees, will increase. Not by many, but will increase. What I was referring to, footprint of our management company. We have 9 people managing on behalf of Cooper Square. Their footprint will be reduced significantly with additional savings because there will be no need to have particular positions since they will be managed by this company who will be involved in direct employment. Any more questions?
Yes,
yes, Jerry.
At the risk of opening an old sore, okay, if you go back to the restoration projects, I'm sure there's a lot of difference of opinion in this room, but I think a lot of people felt we maybe took on too much, too fast. And my question is, now this is a major change in the way we operate. What are your thoughts in terms of if you go towards outsourcing? Is it your intent to change all of the services at once, or is it something we're going to walk before we run? What services specifically are you looking at, and will they be is it something that would be phased in, or are we turning our entire destiny over to some company?
Let me tell you in greater detail. Living through the experience of repair restoration project, we are basically learning on our mistakes, but somebody else's mistakes. We decided to take it slow. If we choose to go this way, facilities will stay with us. This company, which we will pick, will come here and take over. Nobody is fired, no pink slips. This company will take over 50 or 60 employees. For 60 to 90 days.
Which services? Those 50, 60 plus.
I'm talking about front services, I'm talking about custodial, and I'm talking about security. Everything outside of facility, building maintenance and facility. They will take over every single employee. They will just simply be their employer. Within 60 to 90 days, they will conduct their evaluation, interviews, they will set up their interviews and evaluation. And they will dismiss or retain whoever they choose to retain and feel appropriate to retain. At that moment, when we give the keys, if we choose to go this way, we will have no say into who is staying, who is leaving. We at first did not understand this. But there is a way to manage this process. There is such a thing as co-employer. Everything we will do in our power not to be called is called co-employer, so we will not be liable for any misdeeds which this company may, or liabilities. If we do not like how 16th floor is cleaned, we cannot say that we need to get rid of Jerry. We need to go and through our manager communicate that 16th floor is not cleaned. We cannot use names, we cannot supervise employers, people working here. We just have to express our disappointment that 16th floor is not clean, or laundry is not clean. And they will take this under advisement, and within a very short period of time, they cannot improve, they will do whatever they feel is necessary with their employee.
Have you given any consideration, given there's 3 different types of services here? Are you looking at going with one company to provide all 3? I mean, security is a world of its own, and there are companies out there that do that, but don't do cleaning and don't do front desk services.
Yes, we interviewed companies. We interviewed, I believe, 7 companies, or even 8 companies, and they all come in pieces, so it's whole. Basically, outside of cleaning, security and front service are very much related services. Because in the eyes of some, front service is the security. Because, and more, I believe that the state looks at front service employees as a security, may look and may require licensing for front service, because the moment you identifying somebody and preventing entrance, this is an employee. We consider this, and exactly the same argument you're making for us to move, it's been decided that it's significantly easier for us. It would be easier for us if we decide to go this way, to manage to have a relationship with one company rather than with 2 or 3 companies.
You're also putting all your eggs in one basket, though.
Yes. But again, it's not a lifetime commitment. And again, the past record of all the companies we interviewed are good. We've seen impressive results from our neighboring buildings. And so far what we've heard is they gave us, and for those of you who participated with us negotiating with Cooper Square, and not to take anything away from Cooper Square, it's a completely different type of the presentations we received from them. It wasn't just simply selling fancy Madison Avenue type of presentation. No. If the company is in business, and not one, number of the companies we looked at in business since, 19th century, for 100 years, apparently they know cleaning. And apparently they realize, and we all realize, that our premises are not cleaned properly. So that's about it. I would suggest to move on with agenda, and then later on we can come back to this. Yes, please.
I'm sorry to say, Slava, that in a period of time, excuse my voice, all of us have seen a slow erosion in our quality of life in this facility. People, facilities, whatever, money. And I also think that anyone who thinks that we're going to get the quality of security for plus or minus $8 an hour is whistling Dixie.
I do not know $8 an hour. I do not know. How do you know $8 an hour? because if you just simply do the simple calculation, if you save $2 per hour from what we're paying collectively on all the expenses, it doesn't bring to $8 per hour. Companies we interviewed, either we believe them or not, but they're operating on significantly different margins than we believe. I mean, they're very efficient in what they do. We talked about night cleaning. They bring their vacuum cleaners, which are not as loud as ours. More, the figures which we're quoting right now, the numbers we're talking about, including cleaning supplies, it's not $8 an hour. And if somebody can do their job for X amount of dollars less than somebody else, God bless this somebody. There are people outside, and they have a thriving business. They're not picking their employees in the corner. Everybody is licensed in security. Everybody is tested, and everybody is happy with what services they deliver.
I recognize that, but those companies are thriving because of the fear of what's going on in this country. And that's why you get security, you get the lowest level people who now enter security jobs. Go to John Jay College and look at who graduates. Okay, and those are security people.
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
And now these companies, yes, they're thriving, I agree with that. However, they're thriving because everyone in this room is deathly afraid of what's going to happen when they walk out on the street, or when they go into their buildings, or when they go into their garages, wherever they happen to be. That's what's going on. Fear is driving the profit motive. There's been a huge increase in the number of security people for that very reason. My concern is we're going to inherit very low level people in security to the detriment of all of us and to the detriment of our buildings.
Let me comment on this. Unfortunately, sadly to admit, but yes, services here have been deteriorating, and the facility been deteriorating. That's exactly why we are doing what we're doing. In order for us to move on to any kind of future, we have to put our financial house in order first. We can keep dreaming because, we have Mr. President, he has a press, we don't have a press, we can't keep printing, and you are already squeezed, we all are squeezed to the fullest, because would you like another assessment, another increase? I don't believe that you're going to be voting for increased assessment very, very soon. So the first exercise, the first goal, which was put before us 3 years ago, to put us back on solid financial foundation. Slowly but surely we're getting there. You say to us, oh, give us elevators. Okay, no problem. Give me another $1,000 per year, you get elevators. People say, I'll wait. We'll get to elevators. We're making significant progress. We're bringing qualified people here, and I can testify that we have better controller here now than ever before. We have better facility manager than ever before. So we are thinking, we're not just simply making changes. If you follow what we do, you'll follow, there is a logic. Yes, it is a very conservative, fiscally conservative approach to what we do, and perhaps some of you and some of us not used to it. But unfortunately, we do not have this source where we can open a faucet and get another $5,000 or $10,000. I mean, this particular faucet is drying fast. This particular exercise, yes, we can say no, it will not work. I believe it will work. We have tremendous employees here. Okay, and I like most of them, if not all. But we can do it. Why do you anticipate that they think that the business will be, the place will be less secure if they put in cameras in place, if they put in those key stations, detox stations, and everybody is licensed. At least they have a session with the police department. Okay, listen.
Oh, but we don't have to outsource to do the three things you just mentioned. Now, I'm concerned about something you said a little while ago about not having any voice in dismissing an employee. I don't think you want to give that up. If somebody specifically, say, has been caught stealing, and you can't order that person to be dismissed, I think you're entering a big problem.
John, you're taking it to a little bit different extent. If God forbid, I'm sure that we will not have anybody stealing here. I'm sure. But listen, we cannot supervise employees. But as far as the illegal conduct, as far as drugs, of course, employees will be dismissed without